Hello, everybody, and welcome to Reviews That Don't Matter with Jessica Hitt. My name is Jessica Hitt, and on today's episode, we are talking about The Gifted. Yes, season 1 is back with episode 11, and you know what? It's still good. You know, it had a couple week of winter hiatus. It came back, and I'm glad it came back so soon. January 1st is, I think, a great day to restart a lot of these things, especially because it was an additional 3 episodes that Fox ordered, and typically those first 3 weeks of January we don't even get new shows anyway, so it was an easy fill for them. And I actually really enjoyed the episode. I think that it's on par with the last 4 episodes of the first part of the season. I think it's called 3 in 1, and it really focuses on the Frost triplets, the Stepford Cuckoos that we really learned about at the end of last episode, that they went all crazy and killed 11 of the Sentinel Services people. And we see them kind of together now, and you see them separate and conquer. Divide and conquer is the real saying, is kind of what I meant to do. And then you also see the amount of confusion that they've caused within Sentinel Services, as well as, of course, the Mutant Underground, where half the people don't want anything to do with Esme and her 2 sisters, and then the other half are thinking that they're just a gift from God from what they did. They helped all of those people get out of Sentinel Services' grasps. And even the 3 pillars are really divided, because you have Polaris, who is kind of more on the side of wanting to team up and utilize them if she can, and then you have Marcos, who is really does not want anything to do with them, and then you have Thunderbird, who is grieving the death of Dreamer, and he's kind of taken a step back this episode and hasn't necessarily voiced his opinion on it quite yet. It's very clear that the 3 of them don't trust the Stepford Cuckoos. It's really just depends on if they can utilize them in a way, which I think, honestly, the best thing would to not utilize them at all, because they're too smart. They are so, it's like, basically they have 3 brains in one. So they can divide and conquer, and they can have these plans where they manipulate all these people. Like we learn at the very end of this episode that the whole climax of it, where these Struckers decide that they're going to go to Mexico and just leave the Mutant Underground, which I'll get to later. Their little group of people that are trying to escape get found out by Sentinel Services and get attacked by them and taken in by them, and you find out at the end of it that the Stepford Cuckoos had everything to do with that. They're the ones that tipped off Sentinel Services, and they're the ones who got the Struckers and the rest of the team out of that firefight, and so they're manipulating that entire scene. Well, they're manipulating the entire episode, which is great by them, sure, but not so great for the heroes that we are following, of course. Plus, we get to see a little bit more of the goings-on in the Hellfire Club, which I'm very, very interested. I'm curious to see if we're ever going to see Emma Frost in this. I hope that she kind of makes an appearance in the finale of the season, or in the premiere of season 2. I really want to see her. I want to see a good iteration of her. And I would like to see her influence on the Stepford Cuckoos, because they're like daughters to her. And I want to learn so much more about the Hellfire Club. We get a hint of Magneto in this episode when I think it was Esme was talking to Polaris and is like, you know who your dad is. You've heard things about him. So this is kind of, we get a lot of hints of stuff. We got hints of the X-Men. Apparently the X-Men have chose the Mutant Underground to kind of continue their fight. We have no clue what's happened to the Brotherhood or the X-Men. And right now we have the Mutant Underground and we have the Hellfire Club and a couple of different things. And it's fascinating, and it's like a deep dive into this Marvel X-Men world, and I'm very happy with it. I feel like this is the way that X-Men should be explored, because I know I'm one of the only people, but I don't like the original trilogy of X-Men. I don't like the first one. I hate the first one. The second one is okay at best, and the third one is a dog pile of shit. And I only really started actually caring about the X-Men is when First Class came out, and I'm like, I actually really like this. And I love Days of Future Past because it basically erased everything from the first trilogy, so very happy about that. Apocalypse was an okay movie. It wasn't absolutely dog shit, but it wasn't great. Probably a little bit more on the low end of the okay scale, but it is what it is. So I really like ingesting my X-Men this way. It's kind of like how, the animated X-Men show in the 90s was super, super popular, and I wasn't crazy about the show. I didn't watch it every second of the day, but I definitely watched it. And I think that X-Men should be viewed in a TV form, mainly because it's so dense, there's so many characters to explore, that it can get confusing for a 2-hour movie. And the only reason that Days of Future Past could even pull it off is because they had 4 previous movies to introduce different characters to bring together in that movie. I also really like in this episode, you see Clarice, who is Blink, kind of really take charge in the Mutant Underground, and she's kind of becoming a 4th pillar of this Atlanta branch, and I really like that. I like the 4 of them. I think that their powers all together work really well, and I do think that what's great, too, is it doesn't seem like they're going to rush into a Thunderbird and Blink romance, especially because they did make a point to like actually say goodbye to Dreamer and like grieve her, and I really hope that they spend time. I don't want it this season. I would even be fine with it not happening in season 2. Like, grow to know each other, and then, you know, have a respectful amount of time to grieve your dead girlfriend, and then get into a relationship, because I think it does become a little tacky if you wait an episode or 2 and then something happens. Even if you had feelings beforehand, like, come on, let's not be that way. Oh, and also, we've learned a little bit how Polaris's powers are strengthened now that she has a baby in her stomach, and she's doing things that she was never able to do. And I wonder if they're going to explore that with her bipolar episodes, or if she's going to go I don't know, a little dark, because she does have a darkness inside her. I mean, she's Magneto's daughter, and she does have some issues that she works through, and she tends to be very crass, and she doesn't think things through all the way, and you have Marcos for that end of it. You have Eclipse that kind of balances her out in the way, but they're constantly fighting, so who knows. And now we can talk about my least favorite part of the episode, which is the entire Strucker line of it. The Strucker parents are bugging me quite a bit. It's like they never learn. It's one episode they want to be there, and the next episode they don't want to have anything to do with anything. And they think by running it's just going to like get all better. But I mean, the kids can literally not run. They don't have to follow their parents' rules anymore. They are criminals. They're running from the law. And you know what? If they don't want to go to Mexico, then stay in Atlanta with the Mutant Underground. Like, they can't make them go. That's something like I keep wanting to yell at Lauren and Andy. It's like, you don't have to follow every single one of their rules. Obviously, they don't always know better. And I am really, really ready for Daddy and Mommy Strucker to lay down, I don't know, I'm just ready for them to actually like plant their flag in a place and stick there and decide to fight for a side, because right now they're not really doing anything, and it's ticking me off. And honestly, that whole storyline was really just there to service the sort of new technology that Trask Industries has put together that combines mutants' powers, as long as they're still drugged up, to use them together and like destroy buildings and stuff like that. And to also get Trask Industries back into Sentinel Services' good graces, and get Sentinel Services back into the regular government's good graces, so that way they can act legally by doing very, very bad things. So I swear, if the Struckers keep complaining about this for the next 2 episodes of this season, I am so annoyed by them. Like, come on, just have them actually try to fight. Like, let's stop this running. Let's stop this indecisiveness. I'm sick of it. I don't need any more of it. I'd be fine if they got rid of the Struckers at this point, even with the kids' badass powers, which are obviously going to bite them in the butt one day. But overall, I did really, really enjoy the episode. I thought we got a lot of interesting little Easter eggs in there, as well as learning a lot of information that we didn't know beforehand, and I think it leads into the last 2 episodes of the season very, very well, and I think that they're going to be pretty action-packed, and I really like the show. I still really like it. I was a little worried coming back for the last 3 episodes, but it didn't miss a beat, and I'm excited to see where they go with the penultimate and the finale episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of The Gifted, episode 11, season 1, 3-in-1 is what it's called. What are your thoughts on this season? What are your thoughts on this episode so far? Comment down below. Give me a like, a thumbs up is what it is. And also don't forget to subscribe. I make videos Monday through Friday. And tomorrow you're going to be getting a most anticipated video, and then we're back to regular reviews. I've seen a lot of movies over my little break that I took between Christmas and New Year's, and oh boy, a lot of stuff is coming your way, and I hope you enjoy it. Please do. I need the views. Okay, bye.